Hello, hello. Today we have the Jeffree Star Cosmetics. This is the Magic Star Candy Liquid Blush. This is in Lavender Fame. Lavender Fame was one of those shades that when I saw he was releasing this cream blush, I really wanted it. It was such an interesting color, and it was going to be one of the first colors that I got. And I decided to, keep it a little safe. And when I ended up actually getting, at that time, when this was originally first released, I ended up getting, it was Raspberry Slut, and it was another, some sort of pinky shade. I remember Raspberry Slut for sure, and then there was some sort of, I think it was something petals. It was like rose petals or something. I'll put it down below what those shades I had used from what I remember, but it was the first cream blushes I had ever used, and I didn't know how to use them. So I bought them, I tried them, I thought there's way too much product in here, which there is a lot of product in here. It's, say, 10.5 milliliters, or 0.36 fluid ounces. To me, this is a lot. I'm not going to be picking up this light purple, shade too much, but it felt like a lot of product, and it felt very intense for my skin, and at the time, I couldn't figure out how to use this product. So those two, that petal shade and that raspberry slut shade, I passed on to my MUA cousin, who I knew would get a lot more use out of it with her customers, and she has, and she's loved it. And I had told her, I gave this to you because I couldn't figure out how to use it. It looked crazy on me. And she told me, what you should do is you need to take the shade, apply it first on your hand, move that around, and then apply it to your face. Don't just apply it directly onto your face, because then you're going to get way too much pigment out of it. You're going to end up putting way too much on your face. So fast forward, I now have 3 of these. I have 3 of these, and I've been using cream blush a lot more now. Specifically, I started off with the Ofra Cosmetics cream blushes, which I absolutely love, and I'm always going to give them credit for being my first amazing cream blushes. But I've also tried the Milk Cosmetics blush lights recently, and I absolutely love those. Those are so nice. They're really pretty and easy to use. From this, I grabbed this from, there was a sale that was going on. So I thought it was my time to shine. I'm going to try and use this again. So in terms of the formula, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with the formula. I think you just need to pick your correct color. But I decided to specifically do a review for this shade because it is such a interesting, unique shade. It's not a shade that you usually find. So for me, this shade, I'm going to have to give it away because it's very white leaning. It's very white cast. It leaves on my face. It feels too light. I think this might work well for someone who isn't even just lighter skin, but like fairer skin. Someone with some porcelain skin, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how this color would look and apply on our deeper queens because this just feels incredibly light. Even for myself, who I would call myself a light medium skin tone, this felt like I was applying, it's like a purple with a white base, and it just looked really weird. And I did the techniques my MUA cousin, suggested that I use, and I still didn't like it. So I think this might be for, I'm looking for a, a blush, a cream blush, a liquid blush, you could say, that I can use daily in my everyday. I'm sure this would be great and all fun for, very costumey looks. But now that I've used this and I don't like it, and I don't like the way that it looks on my skin tone, I'm ready to pass this on. And if you've seen my other videos, you might have heard me talk about that there has been a recent drag king come into my life. And I'd like to surprise them with a kind of mystery box of items. And I think this is going to be one of the products that I'm going to throw in there because I don't like to waste product. If there's a product that I don't like, I always try to pass it on, and this is going to be one of those products. So let me swatch it. I want to do like a little swatch, and I'm sure for someone who does like a full face of, whatever, this is going to work very well. So let's do 2. I'm going to do like a little dot, and then I'm going to do a bit of a bigger dot over here, just so maybe we can see some difference. So over here, I think I want to try and just use my finger, just so you can see the shade blended out with a finger. I don't think it looked very good on my skin tone, personally. Let's see if we can get it to focus. It just kind of looks like it's less purple and more of like a white. That's what it feels like to me. Like, it doesn't feel like very, like an everyday color. And I know that some of the looks that I do aren't everyday, but I'm going to do like a little bit more and blend it out with my finger again. See, at this point, now that's too much. I did 2 dots. and now this feels like way too much. And as you can see there, like, I don't know, this just doesn't feel like a pretty color for my skin tone. Maybe it's too cool toned. Maybe I'm not a cool, my skin's not very cool toned. So maybe this looks really good for our cool toned queens. I don't think it works very well for my skin tone. I always try to describe my skin tone. I think it's very neutral, but unfortunately something like this, which leans, you know, a little too one way, it doesn't work. So this is what it looks like on my light medium skin. To me, this feels very like white base, white casting, so that's why I'm going to give it away. But I brought here my brush. You'll hear me talk about this brush all the time. This is the F80 Air Flat Kabuki Sigma brush. I love this brush. This is one of those expensive brushes that I feel like are worth it. But I wanted to show you what it also looks like with a brush. So you can see that applied in a different way. And it's just patting it, patting it, patting it. I think it looks a little bit more intense over here, but I did have more applied. But you can see here, there's a little, I feel like there might be a little bit of a difference now. But maybe my brush also wasn't maybe fully clean. I try to clean it off as much as I can, but as you can see, it's stained pink. It feels a little darker over here than over here, but you know, I still stand by what I say. If this is a color that interests you, like I said, I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with the formula. I have this Jeffree Star Magic Star Candy blush in other shades. I have it in like Never Settle. I also have it in Ice Cream Boulevard. The Ice Cream Boulevard shade I think is really, really pretty. And it's kind of giving almost the same kind of thing where it's a little bit more white cast, but with the pink I don't mind as much because I feel like it works with my skin a lot better. So again, that might be because maybe it's a little bit more warmer toned versus this, which might be a little more cooler toned. It looks like our lighting changed a little. So I'm passing this along. I don't think this is the color for me, but this might be the color for you. I also just want to let you guys know, please go check out my channel. I'm not asking you to subscribe or like my videos or anything, but on my channel, underneath my postings, I currently have a poll going on right now about what kind of palettes you want to see coming into the fall. I would love to have more people participate in that poll. I'm just asking you to go, please check out my poll on my channel. But other than that, y'all have a great day.